All right, welcome back. On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, which I hope you're on right now, over 360 cop stories, 7, 9, 10 minutes. Look them up, depending on content. They're a lot of fun, a lot of gross alerts. I have 4 years of ice, a lot of dirty stuff in bathrooms and all kinds of, oh man, I still can't unforget it, okay? Look them up, please. And in addition to that, on the same website, we have over 200 questions and answers. So you want to ask me a question, email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com, and I'll answer you directly, and then we'll put it on video. Now, this particular question is long when I couldn't answer the person directly. And they asked me, how do you turn recruits out of the academy? I've had several videos before this one about that. Okay, I'm covering every aspect that I possibly can, and all incidents that I possibly can remember of 40-some years ago. This was in the 70s and early 80s when I trained recruits. This we're going to cover now is going to be foot pursuits. Okay, and I'm going to tell you foot pursuit with my tenure partner and foot pursuit with the recruit. Okay, and it might be duplicating what the recruit did because we had another one that's close to it, but that's all right. My memory's gone. I'm an old guy. Okay, yeah. So with a tenured officer, okay, you always have to have a plan when you get in the car because sometimes you don't get the same partners. And most of the time you do, depending on what car you're working. Car meaning there's an A car that handles community area, and there's a probationer on there and 2 training officers, okay? Then there's an X car, which is basically 2 policemen ranks that don't have any recruits. They're not training officers, but they're just what we call grunts, or we call them P2 dogs because they're right before being trained officers. Guys have between, say 2 years to about 3.5 to 4 years. That's pretty much the bulk of most departments is those worker bees, okay? They're the ones that handle the radio calls, they rent the tickets. And so those guys are together a lot, but trained officers, we changed with partners, okay? So you have to make sure if you're going to have the same partners, you have I work with the same partner one year, one time, and another partner a little over a year and a half the next time. We had our plan together because we didn't have recruits with us, okay? We have a plan on everything. Pursuits, foot pursuits, vehicle pursuits, later on I'm going to get into physical altercations. All this was you have to have a plan, okay? So with a tenured officer here, how it goes, you get in the car, you know each other already, you've been working together, and you say, okay, man, we get in a chase. I said, I'm gonna back you up, and just, the passenger, you tell the passenger, I want to back your butt up. You're out. I'm with the car. I'm at the car as long as I can. I'm not gonna try to keep you out of. I'm not gonna keep you out of my sight. Okay, sounds good. We're agreeing on this. Sounds good. Okay, fine. We're ready to go. Okay, let me get an offshoot here. In the late '60s, I think '68 or '69, we had a foot pursuit in our division where the officers chased a guy. It was in the Latin area. It doesn't really matter what area it is. They chased a guy, and the officers split up. And that's a standard procedure at the time. Just split up. One guy goes around the house this way. One guy goes this way. Well, they split up. Well, one officer chased this guy under a huge drain duct next to the freeway. It goes under the freeway, it's like 10 feet high for water and whatnot, drainage. And there was a physical altercation at the end of this tunnel. And before the other officer could get there, the suspect removed the officer's gun and killed the officer. Okay. And then, of course, he got away at that time. Then they searched him. They knew who he was because they came back. The officer recognized him. Anyway, they caught him, and they convicted him for killing an officer, and he got the death penalty. But with California's wonderful liberal court system, he got life, and he basically died in prison, 80 or 78 years old, whatever it is. So since then, this is like, I think it was 68, 69. When I came in the academy in 71, they had changed this dramatically. They did not want anyone losing your partner. They said, if you're going to have a choice of running separately or losing the suspect or running together, they said it's okay to lose the suspect. You don't want to lose your partner. Okay, and that makes sense. Okay, so you try to stay together as much as you can. I think I'd say probably 99 times out of 100 when I went in foot pursuits, whether my partner was running or whether my partner was running, in other words, the lead runner, if that makes sense, we hardly lost sight of. If I lost sight of my partner, it's because he went around the corner towards the backyard and I'm way behind him, and I went around the corner right behind him. It's not as if we were separate. We were just following each other in a long distance. It's the same thing, obviously, but I'm just saying that I'm not just going way away from my partner. We're trying to stay, like this, together. Okay, so anyway, so back to the line. So that dictates how we do things, and that's what I ingrained in my probationer, and so did my other trained officer, that this is not separate. Stay together. If we lose the guy, we lose the guy. Okay, fine. All right, so now, tenured officer now. We're driving around. There's so many of these, I'll just pick one. I mean, there's, again, like I said earlier, you don't really get in a car and say, oh, let's go on a car pursuit tonight. Or, hey, let's go chase someone tonight. And unfortunately, the Democrats and the liberals will say, oh, the officer get in the car, let's go kill someone tonight. They don't work that way, okay? It does not work that way. You get in the car, we go, okay, we should write some tickets tonight. Sergeant wants to write some tickets. Let's try to handle this. Go to this area that's got some hot crimes. We're discussing doing our strategy. The last thing, there isn't even on our list, is trying to hurt someone. The suspect dictates whether he gets hurt or not. Put your hands up, I'm not going to do it. Put your hands behind your back, I'm not going to do it. Then things happen. Okay, so, all right. So now based on that, we get in the car. What do you want to do? Well, let's go over here. I know there's some burglars working over here. Okay, fine. So one of them was a heroin addict. Driving around, we go to an area, and we always go, some B officers like to look for heroin addicts up and down the main streets. The Alpha officers look for suspects in alleys, because that's where the most of the suspects do their walking, because they know it's away from the street. And officers and cops don't like to go down alleys because they're dirty, they're confining, you get flat tires, you have to run over garbage, and a lot of guys don't like to do that. Well, if you know your area, you know some alleys you can't drive into because you physically can't get into them, but most alleys you can, because most of the people that live there keep their alleys clean because they want to pull their cars in there. Nowadays, I know I live in different parts of South Orange County, and the alley is a thing of the past. That's a 50s and 60s thing. There's no alleys anywhere. There's an alley, there's condos on it. There's no room for that. But anyway, so we're going right around, and this particular time, I was a passenger, he was the driver. In pretty good shape. I had about 7 or 8 years on, means I was pushing 30 years old, try to keep in shape. And so we're driving around. He said, let's go up this alley. Okay, so we go up an alley, and sure enough, it's just starting to get dark, and we're coming up the end of the alley where it goes in a street, and again, crooks are focused on what they're doing sometimes and not really looking out around them. So we're coming up the alley, no lights on yet because it's not quite dark. We're just coming up nice and slow, and we're looking all the time. And sure enough, out of one of the backyards pops a guy. He's got a VCR. This is an era of VCRs. Nowadays it'd be DVD players or whatever, Blu-rays. He's got a VHS machine, and he's got on top of that, he's got a pillow sack about this big that's full of something, okay? Well, what burglars do is they go to a house, the first thing they do, they have to transport stuff. They go right to the bedroom, pull out a pillowcase, and then start loading. They don't bring in anything with them, okay? So that's based on us history of what my partner and I know, this is a burglar. Well, as he sees him, he accelerates, not hard. Remember, he's a tenured officer, so he's not going to burn rubber because he'll see us. So he just accelerates a little bit. We zoom up on him. I got the door open because I'm a tenured officer. I'm ready to get out. I know he's going to run. Well, I should know. 9 times out of 10, burglars caught in the act are going to run. Okay, if they can get away, they're going to run. So we're probably maybe, I don't know, car length away. He absolutely looks over and sees us, and of course he had that OS moment. He looks, and then he drops, and there he goes, okay? And my partner, there he goes, he says, I'm on him. Okay, so he floored it now, and I think we might have hit the bag. We did hit the bag to a property, but right now we're after. He's trying to get around it, because we don't want to be bad. You try to catch the guy, and you wind up ruining all the property the poor citizen in his house has. That's a weird thing. But anyway, so he was swerving a little bit. It was near the intersection of a street. So by the time he gets to the street, we're following the crook we're like this. Here's the crook, and here's the car, and it's like this. He's running, and we're coming up on him. We're running paralleling, but by the time we get to the street, he's got the advantage. He makes the turn on the sidewalk. My partner makes a turn. I said, I'm out. Because he made the turn really slow. Maybe, 3 or 4 miles an hour, because we had to slow down because he had to look for traffic. Remember, his responsibility is safety of the citizens, himself, the car, and me. You can't be just blindly driving down the street like some of these TV shows. These cars go down streets at 30 miles an hour. No, you got pedestrians, you got kids, you got people. Got to be careful. So he makes the turn. I told him, I'm out. Okay, now we're running down business. I can see him. He's about, maybe 10 yards in front of me. I'm not gaining on him, but I'm going step per step. And I hear the car coming. And of course, I know at the time, only because I know this, I don't have to be told that he did it. He's broadcasting that we need help. He gets out there, officer assistance, foot pursuit, eastbound Brooklyn, from Chicago, foot pursuit, okay. That's all he needs to put out. Puts the microphone down, he's gone. Okay, all these units are responding. And luckily, at that time, and even today, there's so many units out there that are rolling to calls and driving around. They hear this, and they go to help us. And then when they're done helping us, they go back to their regular calls. So it's not as if we have 200 police cars out there. No, everybody's helping, and they leave to go do other things. So when I heard him coming around the corner burning tires, and I could hear the Plymouth accelerating, I know, and I'm like just staring at the guy looking at him, see what he's going to do. He's going to go into a business. Is he armed? Is he going to go in there and take a hostage? Got to think of all this stuff as I'm running, because I'm a tenured officer. I'm thinking all the bad things can happen. Okay, unlike some guys think the good things are happening. Kumbaya, let's ride our unicorns. I think 9 things are going to go wrong, and hopefully the one thing is not going to go wrong is I'm just going to catch him. Okay, but you got to think bad. I'm sorry, it's the way it is. So I'm chasing him. We're not getting on, but I'm going pretty good. Now we're going to block and a half. I'm getting tired. Okay, here goes my partner. Boom. Okay, right by me. Okay, I know what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do because we're both tenured. We're training officers. I said this earlier in the video. What does he do? I watch him and I'm running. He times it so that when he gets to the next intersection, he's going to cut him off. That's his goal. Okay, so. And I hear other burning rubber. I know it's another police car. I don't have to look, or you can hear the sound of it. You know, it's a certain particular sound. Like I'll sit outside now and do the yard work or smoke a cigar, and I'll hear a sound up in the air, and it's a Huey helicopter. Well, from Vietnam, I can pick a Huey out 5 miles away. So you know the sounds of what it is. Police car. So sure enough, the guy's looking back at me. He's looking back at me. He's focused on me. He didn't even know there was a car next to us. My car, my partner's car. Sure enough, I could see it, like in slow motion. Boom! Okay, right there. Door, right where the suspect is. He sensed something because he turned at the last minute. He was looking the opposite way. He turns, sees it, and he tries to adjust his running. Okay, well he's not a receiver for the Rams. Okay, he's just a heroin addict. Okay, so he doesn't do very well. He starts to turn to get out of the way, and he winds up over the tire area, hits it full speed, right on his legs, literally goes upside down over the hood. And what happens at that time? My partner officer who made the turn and actually stopped was already out of the car coming around because he's tender. He knows what the F to do. So I see this in slow motion. I'm still going, and now I'm adjusting because I'm farther away, and I can actually go a little bit, what I call that oblique in the military. I can go to making a right oblique without losing too much speed and without crashing into the police car. Okay? So I make that turn, and by that time, I see my partner pretty much trounce on him. As I come around the front, I see another two policemen running up, and they're on him. I didn't even get there in time. There were just 3 cops on him already. And there was nothing a fight. He went down, they pretty much kneed him on the back, put the cuffs on. By the time I got there, he was already cuffed. Woo! You know, kind of like a rodeo. You know, you do it and then you just go like that, you know. Bull riders, or not bull riders, but the steer, whatever, cow ropers, whatever they're called, yeah. So that was pretty neat, okay? I say neat because it's a successful operation where no one gets hurt, even the suspect, okay? I have fellow officers, I won't explain sometimes their attitude. They felt that if you go and chase someone, you're going to give a lesson. Well, I don't believe that. You just have to catch them. Okay, but anyway, that's what they did. It's okay. But so, you know, they cuff him. He's down. It's over. Okay, so then the sergeant pulls up. What's going on? So, you know, the alley back there. Can someone go back there? There's a bag and stuff. And somebody's already there. Can you believe that? Because we broadcast. We came out of the alley. So as units are responding to us, another unit probably thinking like we do. Why go there? There's, you know, 3 police cars and 6 officers arresting this guy. I'll go back where these officers started. Maybe there's something there. And sure enough, they pulled up on the property. So I said that. Here comes the black and white they were walking out with all the property. It's amazing because we're all tenured. There wasn't any recruit there that night. It was all tenured officers, anywhere between 2 years and up to 7 years. My partner 7 years on the job. A lot of experience there. A lot of intuitiveness where you can think, oh, I need to do that. That's pretty good. I'll think, excellent. So then. It's pretty good. So then we asked him, would you take him to the station? We're going to go find a victim. And then so we go to the house, and no one's home. So we left a couple of notes, and then we take off the station. And now we're back to, I'm the partner officer. I'm going to write the report. And so I started writing. I got my properties here. My partner's starting to process the body. He starts to itemize the property. Calls the detectives. They're still there. They come down. They pretty much take over inventorying the property because they're going to handle the case in court. They're burglary detectives. Excellent. Sure enough, hour into the thing, front desk calls. Hey, do you guys get somebody from certain house? Yes, we did. They're here. Oh, so show them back. Is this your stuff? Yeah, okay, fine. We took pictures of it. You know, gave it back to them. Okay. And they had them sign some affidavits. Asked them if they would mind keeping the stuff off to the side for court because we could have booked it. It's an option. It's better to book it for court. But you have the people that own it sitting right there and all that. So I would have booked it, but my supervisor says, no, you can just really sell this because they're poor people. They don't have a lot of money. Come on, you know. And took some jewelry. A lot of it was costume jewelry. Like my mom wouldn't have any money, but it looked nice on her. You know, she loved it. And so it isn't. You're not talking about a Beverly Hills burglar here. You're talking about just a regular Joe citizen. So, but anyway, so that's what we did. I'm running out of time here, so I'll try to rush a little bit at the end. So tenured officer, everything went perfect. Nobody got hurt. The guy was arrested. Never went to court. He had a case. I'm sure he pled guilty to some things, and they gave him a year or two in prison, and that was the end of it. So that's a tenured foot pursuit. Went very well. No one got hurt. It's good to go. Okay. Now next one, I'll show you. I'll talk about the next one when we get back with some more time with the next one. Okay. So hope you enjoyed that one. See you next time. Bye bye.